The brain is the body's most complex organ, containing more than 100 billion neurons, each of them in chemical and electrical conversation with up to 10,000 other neurons. Its sheer capacity to process the various happenings of life is astonishing. The scientific studies on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's brain remarkably shows that the complexity presents no difficulty for the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in managing his brain's activity. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's capacity to control his brain is very fluid. He can easily shift his brain function and alter his brain waves, allowing the travel into various time zones possible and effortless. The results from the scientific studies conducted on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism show that the human body and brain is able to choose to alter the body and to travel to other dimensions at will. The possibility for people to experience the healing capabilities as well as the higher states of consciousness is an event of immense benefit for humankind. The science of altering the rates and progression of many physical diseases, mental instabilities, and ultimately the superconscious breakthrough has now been made available and achievable for today's humanity.
The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is a bridge between the visible and the invisible. He is also a bridge between the age-old world of mysticism and the modern world of science and discovery. As brain research continues on a widespread basis, and as we appropriately bring the phenomena of mysticism into the realm of science for further study, we are taking strides on the path of physical and mental health as well as superconsciousness.
I'm going to empower, enlighten each and every one of you with the fuel and energy of the parallel universe. It can make you tireless forever. It can just kill the boredom once and for all in your life. It can just make you manifest third eye power right now. You may experience intense levitation right now. You may experience absolute flexibility of the body and complete detoxification, a complete healing right now. There can be multiple possibilities. I'll infuse this intense supernal effulgence, DNA, Tejas, Ojas, Kundalini Shakti into your spine to consciously lift you to KAILASA. Four manifestations documented in Veda Agamas, which he himself describes. Manifesting all of them in you is the complete manifestation of Paramadvaita. I am your Guru. I will make you enlightened. It's my commitment. Till you become Paramashiva, I won't rest. Don't worry at all. disciples, I give you this as a boon. I'll swallow everything with which you are stuck and liberate you all. Your consciousness as power at this moment to swallow, digest, clean up all negativity and all toxins. Develop a powerful will persistence. That's the most important asset for life. I am not giving you some life positive blah blah. I am giving you the facts of life. I am triggering your consciousness. Born and practicing Hindus, listen. Nirvikalpa Samadhi, Navakanda Yoga Samadhi, Jiva Samadhi, Divya Sarira, all this is not only possible, simple. Have all the equipments, gadgets, comforts, luxuries of modern day. But when it comes to inner software, just go back to your ancestors. "64 manifestations documented in Veda Agamas, which he himself describes. Manifesting all of them in you is the complete manifestation of Paramadvaita. I am your Guru. I will make you enlightened. It's my commitment. Till you become Paramashiva, I won't rest. Don't worry at all. To all my disciples, I give you this as a boon. I'll swallow everything with which you are stuck and liberate you all. Born and practicing Hindus, listen. Nirvikalpa Samadhi, Navakanda Yoga Samadhi, Jiva Samadhi, Divya Sarira, all this is not only possible, simple. Have all the equipments, gadgets, comforts, luxuries of modern day. But when it comes to inner software, just go back to your ancestors. "64 manifestations documented in Veda Agamas, which he himself describes. Manifesting all of them in you is the complete manifestation of Paramadvaita. Your consciousness as power at this moment to swallow, digest, clean up all negativity and all toxins. Develop a powerful will persistence. That's the most important asset for life. I am not giving you some life positive blah blah. I am giving you the facts of life. I am triggering your consciousness. itself is nothing but your decision to struggle with the same rut. Your decision to struggle with the same rut is time, Kala. Your decision to swallow time is Kala Bhairava.
Nithyanandam Paramashivoham Kevalam Jnanamurtam Dvandvatidam Gagana Satrisham Tattvamasyaadhilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalavachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavadidam Trigunarahitam Sadguruntam Namami. Nithyanandam to one and all present here. We welcome you all to this power-packed part 4 of Superconscious Mutations, 64 manifestations of Paramashiva, and such deep revelations on Navakanda Yoga Samadhi by none other than the supreme concept of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. We welcome each and every one of you from 150 countries joining with us in two-way video conferencing, Nithyananda TV, KAILASA TV, and all the social media platforms including Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and many more. Last 3 days have been really power-packed, and we've been receiving the comments from several viewers about how powerful these revelations are from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And yesterday, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, revealed such deeper revelations on superconscious mutations. And one of the things that our beloved Bhagavan revealed that to experience the Navakanda Yoga Samadhi, all that requires from your side, all of our side, is will persistence. It is that sheer will persistence that is all going to make us experience Navakanda Yoga Samadhi. And Bhagavan further revealed that all the 64 manifestations of Paramashiva, 63 Nayanars, 64 Leelas of Paramashiva, everything is connected. How all of it is connected to Navakanda Yoga Samadhi, and each of these secrets, Swamiji, our beloved Bhagavan, started unraveling to the whole of the humanity. This is one of the best gifts that all of us are receiving, just to understand such sacred secrets from the Paramavatara of Paramashiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. So today, now firstly, we will start into a glimpse of what we learned last few days before we get into the deeper aspects of the webinar. Let us get into the video. Yes. So, while we are getting ready to watch the video, let us also understand this sacred science of superconscious mutation is something which has never been shared with this mass of the humanity. It is the sheer compassion of the Paramavatara of Paramashiva. Swamiji has descended to reveal these sacred secrets to one and all. All that is needed from our side is that will persistence. Yes, I have been in this path. I have been traveling in this path to explore the inner sciences. I am going to be having this will persistence to explore more. Let Paramashiva's will be thy will. Let Paramashiva's words be my words. Let me breathe like Paramashiva. Let me think like Paramashiva. Just having that will persistence to align ourselves to this cosmic logic is going to take us all to this higher planes of existence. We have been receiving feedback and testimonials and experiences from several thousands of participants who have received this initiation into experiencing themselves as superconscious mutants over the last few months. The Paramashivoham Level 3 program, it is a 21-day program where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is initiating every one of us into this deeper sciences, into this science of superconscious mutations. Now, the participants have been sharing about several extraordinary experiences where they are seeing themselves as Avadanis, where they are seeing and experiencing themselves as superconscious mutants, performing multiple things without any difficulty. At a time, ability to perform multiple things, and at a time, feeling that any of these problems that is happening around us, it is not anymore relevant. Experiencing higher states of existence is what is relevant in life. Having that mature cognition, how it has liberated so many people. And you also have participants who are experiencing health benefits, wealth, they're able to manifest wealth so easily without any effort. This is all byproducts. This is all simply a byproduct of the initiation into superconscious mutant. What really matters is all of us experiencing the space of Paramashiva. That is what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is initiating each and every one of us into this sacred science. Yes, we're just checking. Yes, we have today we're going to be listening to glimpses of what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, has revealed the sacred secrets on Navakanda Yoga Samadhi. After which, we were also going to have participants who experienced this webinar, participants who have experienced the initiation into superconscious mutation. All of them are going to come here and share their experiences. You may wonder how it is going to benefit me. Swamiji beautifully shared in yesterday's webinar, just by seeing, witnessing the swimming, act of swimming, literally our brain is capable of immediately having that ability to swim. Same way, just listening to all these experiences of people experiencing higher states of existence, just by the initiation of Bhagavan, it opens up several possibilities within us. So let us get ready to watch this glimpse of what it means, what are the possibilities that all of us can experience through this higher states of existence, Navakanda Yoga Samadhi, directly from Avatar, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Will persistence is the only qualification you need for Navakanda Yoga Samadhi. Listen. Will persistence. Understand? I was just sitting and meditating. Why some people get only Nirvikalpa Samadhi? Why some people get Navakanda Yoga Samadhi? Because Navakanda Yoga Samadhi is higher than what you understand as Nirvikalpa Samadhi. See, Nirvikalpa Samadhi is highest Samadhi your consciousness can achieve. That is enough for enlightenment and to reach KAILASA, everything. But Navakanda Yoga Samadhi is something like that. Nirvikalpa Samadhi filling your whole body, even physical body, and the physical body entering into the consciousness of Nirvikalpa Samadhi and raising to the Mahakailasa's frequency with the body. So naturally, I should say that Navakanda Yoga Samadhi is like a going more than Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Listen. Many people achieve Nirvikalpa Samadhi and be satisfied with it. That is like tamarind fruit. The inside that fruit is ripe and it naturally gets detached from the shell. So after that, what happens to shell does not touch you. What happens to the shell does not touch the fruit. Same way, once your consciousness is ripe, what happens to the body does not touch you. Many people come and tell me why great beings like Ramana Maharishi, Ramakrishna, Ram Surat Kumar all had cancer. Listen, they did not have cancer. They did not leave the body due to cancer. After they left the body, cancer took it. They decided to leave the body. So something has to happen to the physical body to go back to the earth. So cancer took it back to earth. So be very clear. Listen. You need to elaborately understand this Nirvikalpa Samadhi and Navakanda Samadhi. Nirvikalpa Samadhi is your consciousness ripening. Navakanda Samadhi is even your body. Along with your consciousness raising to the higher worlds, higher time zones, higher energy fields. People who mastered Navakanda Samadhi only go to the higher worlds and bring the great gifts from the higher worlds and share it with us all, with the human level. So Navakanda Samadhi is something furthering of Nirvikalpa Samadhi. See, yesterday I was sitting in Samadhi, wanted answer for this question. To share with you all why some people achieve only Nirvikalpa Samadhi, why some go up to Navakanda Yoga Samadhi. What is the ingredient, unique, real, principal ingredient for the alchemy of Navakanda Yoga Samadhi? Understand? Unique, principal, primordial, or I should say that true, right, source reason for someone to travel to Navakanda Samadhi. How Paramashiva decides to give Navakanda Samadhi to some people? Why he gives Navakanda Samadhi to some people? I saw clearly, the Paramashiva revealed the reason clearly. It is sheer will persistence. You may ask, oh, after Nirvikalpa Samadhi, naturally your will dissolves. Then how can you have a will persistence? Listen, will dissolves into Paramashiva's will does not mean your will disappears. Fish may be inside the ocean, but it gets the right to swim on the top or the bottom. It can go to the depth of the ocean or it can just swim on the shallow waters. The freedom exists even in Navakanda, in Nirvikalpa Samadhi. This may be new information for you, but that's the truth. Decision who moves towards Navakanda Samadhi is basically done by Paramashiva based on the will persistence of the individual. Listen carefully. For any normal human being, Nirvikalpa Samadhi itself is enough. But if you want to be a teacher, guru, an incarnation, to bring great things from vertical time zone, higher worlds, and share it with the world, then you need Navakanda Samadhi. Then naturally you need Navakanda Samadhi. So understand, you may ask why Masters like Vadalur Vallalar, Ramalinga Swami took the body. He just used the Navakanda Samadhi and made the Divya Sarira and left. He just took the body and left to the higher worlds, KAILASA. But masters like Ramana Maharshi, Ramakrishna left the body here and went. Please be very clear. Never ever compare these great beings with your pea brain or rat brain. Peanut sized brain. No, don't do that mess. Maybe Ramana Maharshi thought leaving his body here in the planet Earth will continue to help millions of seekers. I tell you, just Ramana Maharshi's body alone is such a powerful Jnanagarbha. Such powerful Jnanagarbha. Unimaginable Jnanagarbha. It made millions ripe into enlightenment, including me. If Ramana Maharshi has taken his body, like Vadalur Ramalinga Swami, surely it would have been a great loss. So they have their own reason. Same way Ramakrishna. Ramakrishna, by leaving his body and especially making it burnt, he gave the asti which is installed now in hundreds of places all over the world. So each one of them have their own reason. You understand now the science of Navakanda Samadhi. Fundamental qualification is will persistence. Listen. Shiva, Paramashiva tests only your will persistence. He doesn't see any other qualification. You can't earn these great samadhis by your own qualification. He only sees, if I give, will this guy be able to receive and live it? That's all he sees. He doesn't see any other quality. He tests your devotion. That's all, nothing else. Devotion means will persistence. That's all, nothing else. Navakanda Yoga Samadhi can happen in you just by breathing along with me in same rhythm, same tune. Nothing more is needed. Sit with me, breathe in the same rhythm, same tune, same mode. The vibrations I am creating while I am inhaling and exhaling, it can just penetrate your inhaling and exhaling. Go and sit inside your consciousness and manifest as Navakanda Yoga Samadhi. That's it. Nothing else is needed. You don't need any other qualification other than your will persistence. That is why your will persistence is thoroughly tested. By your own effort, you can't get it. It has to be only given from guru to disciple, because I myself got it from my gurus. I did not make it on my own. Human beings can't make it on their own. It is that kind of a highest frequency, wavelength experience. It can only be given from the higher dimensions. Means from guru to disciple, you can never make it on your own. So the only qualification is will persistence. With will persistence, let me define will persistence. Will persistence means your decision of wanting to have Nirvikalpa Samadhi and Navakanda Samadhi at any cost. What happens, when you consciously decide to have that kind of a will persistence, your breathing pattern itself changes for Navakanda Yoga Samadhi. Not just your lifestyle externally, even your internal breathing pattern changes for Navakanda Yoga Samadhi. Not just thinking pattern, breathing pattern, your digestion pattern, your fire Agni inside. Everything changes. See, Guru gives Mahavakya only 9 times he utters. If you go to Svetaswara Upanishad and read, all of you Google and read. Tattvamasi Svetaketo Tattvamasi. Tattvamasi, 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 Tattvamasi. Only 9 times he utters totally. The Guru utters the word Tattvamasi only 9 times. Disciple achieved Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Why? Because the disciple had that kind of a will persistence. I am making it very clear. Only those who are ready to sacrifice anything to keep the ecosystem, Hindu ecosystem alive on the planet Earth, will receive Nirvikalpa Samadhi or any Samadhi, higher enlightenment experience or the great powers of Paramashiva, everything. All selfish gang, you guys will get money. You guys will get only all the low, cheap things. silly things. Have money, have health, maybe little relationship, little good life. Just get lost with that. Don't expect Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Don't expect Navakanda Samadhi. Great things like Nirvikalpa Samadhi, Navakanda Samadhi are all for the spiritual warriors, people who are ready to sacrifice anything for spirituality. My disciples, listen, all my disciples, you will all be ready to sacrifice anything to keep the Hindu ecosystem, KAILASA ecosystem alive on the planet Earth. It is because of my ultimate Tyaga, I am reviving with the grace of Paramashiva, this whole KAILASA ecosystem, for you all to enjoy it, experience it. That is why Paramashiva tests your ability to will persistence. Your will persistence is tested by Paramashiva. "64 manifestations documented in Veda Agamas, which he himself describes. Manifesting all of them in you is the complete manifestation of Paramadvaita." I'm your Guru. I will make you enlightened. It's my commitment. Till you become Paramashiva, I won't rest. Don't worry at all.
Nithyanandam, yes, that's great. How we heard Swamiji is bringing the beautiful, science, here for all of humanity to enjoy. And today we have a few live sharings, who have really enjoyed, this science over a period of time. And today I'd like to welcome Aparikyananda. She is from Singapore, who used to be a critical care nurse, and it changed her path to explore inner sciences. I welcome Aparikyananda. Nithyananda Ma.
Nithyananda Maya, thank you for having me here today in this program.
Great. Thank you for joining today. And could you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you've been doing and how your life was? Could you give us some insights?
Yes, I was working in critical care for 5 years. And basically almost every day, I'm seeing death happening in my workplace. And a lot of the time, death happens in a very painful and a traumatizing way for the patients. After a while, I started questioning the meaning of life, birth, and death. And these unanswered questions start churning in my inner space quite intensely. And I was feeling depressed about it. And the churning intensified more when my mom passed away 8 years ago. And on top of that, she died in front of my eyes, and she was in the hospital in an intensive care unit also.
Yes, thank you, Ma. How if you could share some of the obstacles, challenges, that you faced, during this time, where you were critical a nurse, and also, looking through life, when things were happening around you, how did you cope up with this, and what were your challenges? If you can shed some light.
I felt that I do not have the support, as in like the understanding why life happens this way. I always felt that the family members will be able to be with the patients all the time, and they will be able to lead them to a peaceful exit. But this is not happening when you are in intensive care unit. Most of them, they are on their own when they collapsed, and you are there. Family members are not with them all the time. And even though you, as a person who is caring for them, you are unable to help them when they are suffering. The way I see it is there's a lot of suffering. You are unable to help them even though you want to. And I definitely know that I was not able to, because I can only see them going away, leaving. And I felt that as time goes by, I become numb. I become numb just looking at people dying like that. Everywhere I can feel that it's like it become insensitive to life. I become insensitive to life. And I know I need help because I start to get depressed.
Wow, I can understand, the trauma, and when people are, kind of experiencing the life situations, like this, like you were, a nurse, and you see people, there, and people leaving the body, and it happened for you in your personal life as well. But really, what is the trauma and the trauma that you lived, and the deaths made you to look for answers? So can you share a little bit about this? How you started looking for solutions? When you were in that stage.
So what happened is that I have spiritual people living around me too. I try to communicate with them and let them know what I need. Unfortunately, they are still not able to answer this question for me. So what I did was I go online on YouTube to seek for discourses on birth and death also, and I watched copious amount of it. Actually, I was watching so much for months. Then one day, Swamiji's YouTube video popped up into my YouTube timeline, and I decided to watch because there's nothing to lose for me. That is the point of no return for me. I realized that once I watch, I cannot stop, and every day there are like 5-6 videos that are popping up. I don't search for it anymore. I just know that what I want to know, it just pop up, and then I just watch it. And I realized that also that period also, because I asked Swamiji to heal me in my inner space, and he started appearing in my dreams. So he was healing in my dreams and doing some form of teaching to me. That time I wasn't very clear, but it was some form of teaching to me. So I decided, I know that I had to go to India and to meet Swamiji and attend my first program. I was very sure of it. So I attended my first program in September 2016. And in that program, there is the death process, and graceful exit with Swamiji. Also, when I say graceful exit, means there's a program related to death. It allows you to understand death better. And also Swamiji is running the process with us. Let us experience what death is all about. In that process, I can feel that how it feels to leave the body. I don't actually left the body like some people, but I can feel the whole body was really not your body anymore, and you were very acutely aware that you are still alive. This is, I find that there's so much healing, and the fear of death were removed from my space. And the idea of death itself also was almost completely removed. Then the idea that I have about death, fear, the incompletion I have about death also was removed from my space when Swamiji was doing the death process. Then also, I also attended subsequently. I know there's so much healing done on my inner space. I decided to go through all the, I attended all the major, yes, I attended Paramashivoham, I attended even the Nithyananda Yogam program, which is a free program with Swamiji that allow us to stay with him for 3 months. That was really helping me a lot. It heals me a lot because we stay in his breathing space. And also I do Paramashivoham. I even do Nithyananda Yogam. Nithyananda Yoga training, teachers training in 2018. And to build myself up, I know that I know that to have healthy lifestyle and to live enlightened life, you need a healthy body, a strong body. So I took up this challenge, is to tell myself that I'm able to do it. It's not impossible. So we did Shivastamba, which is a pole yoga. We also do the rope yoga, which is the Kundalini Raju. And all this is just part and parcel of the training, which I find is so useful now, even for me daily. And I realize now I do yoga every day is I get breakthroughs. When I get breakthroughs, I realize there's less fear in me. And there's a lot of healing being done to me. And there's a lot of completion process for me also. This one is a world tour, Nithyananda Yogi's world tour in 2018, where we were preparing
That's
for the
great. Wonderful, wonderful, Ma. These for pictures are, talks a lot, about this. And as you said, we've.
Sorry, Aya.
Yes, great. Yes, please, please. I was just sharing. These photos are amazing. The pictures are amazing. They talk a lot about your experience and what you did, and really amazing. And what I really wanted to share, with the audience, a couple of things. When you shared about your initial connection, how it happened. You watching the videos, and also at the same time you had visions of Swamiji. It's very clear that you are you're meant to have Guru in this life or lifetimes, and it's such an amazing connection. And also with the traumas that you faced, it reminds me of Swamiji, saying, witnessing death, in Manikarnika Ghat, or any cremation ground, for 3 days will increase, your seeking for life. So, so what you did, to seek answers, through YouTube and Swamiji coming in dreams. This is really fascinating. Really a great journey, and so wanted you to share how do you intend to move forward with this beautiful experiences that you've cherished recently, and what do you intend to do? How is your life now? Beautifully, how is your life now?
So now, actually, I'm so much more peaceful. My depression is basically non-existent, and I sleep very little every day, 4 to 5 hours. Sometimes also, if there's long programs by Swamiji, I also don't sleep, and I don't feel like I'm going to fall sick. I haven't been sick for years. And I feel because also for the Nithyananda yoga part, if I practice more intensely, the body is really strong. I felt the feeling of indestructible, that the type of feeling that you get, like there's nothing's going to touch you. And generally, even relationship with other people around me is much better also. I felt that because of the completion process, because of the oneness, Swamiji teaches in Paramashivoham level 3. He actually gave us so much insights into how we need to conduct our life daily, and how we can live in harmony with everyone, and also with the environment, everything, and how we see life. So much positivity. I don't use the word like negative anymore since Swamiji. I actually don't use it at all. Everything I use it in a positive way. Even if I want to say negative thing, I say in a positive way, because I felt that it does influence how the other party see you and how you react to yourself. Because if you don't give yourself impossibility, you know that there is no impossibility. Impossibility is just the idea that we don't want to do. We give the impossibility, but there is nothing that we cannot do. Actually, we just need to make the decision, and with will persistence, it can be done. That's my major cognition. I just know that I just need to decide. It's everything about my decision and my will persistence to follow through. If I really want it, I would be able to make it. If there's no such thing as cannot do, don't know how to do. I can understand in the satsang when Swamiji say that, I can really resonate with that powerful cognition. This is how I'm living now. When I talk to people, I try to do that the same way. I do not talk negatively. I do not encourage the negativity in them also. And I also encourage them to join the program, come on, let's do it. And, let them experience, also share Swamiji's teaching. That's why all my family members are connected to Swamiji, my brothers, sisters, my in-law. I'm so happy because that is, for me, it's a big achievement. If families are all connected to Swamiji, life is so much easier that way. So I'm trying to expand more people to join us.
That's great.
Aparajitananda, that's a
Wow.
very...
I think you have such profound experiences. You have such profound experiences. Yes, Ma Pranapriya, yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. Ma Aparajitananda, it's a pleasure to listen to your life journey. Someone who has seen deaths day in and day out working in the critical care, from that to transforming, it is something huge when you say that you don't even use the negative words in your day-to-day life. The whole life negativity is something which you are not associating with anymore. And it is simply manifested as a power inside you. Right? After receiving the initiation from Bhagavan as superconscious mutant, every thought level you're able to catch the negativity and then aligning back to positivity and possibility more and more. So that's the extraordinary experience that you have shared with all the participants. Thank you so much. And one other thing which I really liked from what you shared with all of us is the will, persistence, and decision. Right. So, we have so many thousands of viewers in the segment today, hearing and waiting to have the darshan of Bhagavan, waiting to listen to more of the revelations from Bhagavan today. They may have this hesitation that, okay, how I'm going to make it happen to be part of this 21-day intensive workshop from Bhagavan. So for all of them, it's a great message that you shared, that it is really the intention. It is really your decision. Once your decision is right, once you've made the decision, you can simply make it happen. And that's how I'm sure you've made it happen to all the programs. It's such a beautiful journey you've also shared with all of us. Every single program happened because of the decision that you clearly made. So thank you so much for sharing with us all your wonderful experiences.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you. Thank you, Aya.
Thank you. Yes, that was Ma Aparajityananda beautifully sharing her life journey.
Great. Thank you, Ma. See, one other thing I really wanted to share. Yes. One other thing I really wanted to share is, with such profound experiences that you've had, how do you intend to take this journey to the next level? In this progressive journey, that you've had, so how do you intend to take it to the next level?
So I want to make a main point here. Majority of society, because I'm talking about that part, do not have the science of graceful exit. Schools and society does not teach you all this, the science of graceful exit and powerful cognitions, all that they don't have. So in the program, Swamiji will give you all this powerful cognition and also help you elevate your fear, understanding about death. I think it's so important. If anyone who would listen to me now, if you are having the same problem that I'm having, I would urge you to take up the program immediately, because there's no point to suffer years and years for this without knowing, when you can just have this, attend just one program and remove all the unnecessary fear and unwanted ideas about death, about ourselves, how we exist in this universe and life itself. So I would urge you to take the Paramashivoham level 3, which is going to happen in October the 6th, in a few more weeks. So please don't miss it. It is too precious. And I also want to take this opportunity to thank Swamiji, actually, to thank Swamiji immensely, and also show my gratitude, because he has been with us, with my family and myself, all this time, has been helping us tremendously. We know it, and we really, I have no words to say. I only can say thank you. Even thank you is too small a word. Thank you so much, Swamiji. Love you very much.
Great. Thank you. That was a great sharing. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you in Paramashivoham season 3. Like you have so much of yearning, to be around Swamiji and experience him, and as you said, how Swamiji not only takes care of the disciples, devotees, but as your whole family, like you said. The whole family is in blissful and so beautifully connected to Swamiji. And thank you, Ma. Thank you, Ma Prachananda, for coming on today and sharing your amazing journey.
Thank you so much, Aya. Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you.
Yes, that was Ma Aprajita.
Yes, so we have
Singapore, who shared her journey so beautifully with all of us. And one of the things that she really mentioned so powerfully was your decision. So requesting all the viewers, all you need to do from your end is to make the decision. If once you make the decision, simply you are empowered to manifest. So all you need to do is register yourself in kailasa.org/Paramashivoham. Do not miss this opportunity. Even if 1 minute, one thought of yours says, yes, this is something which I really want in my life, where just shifting from day in and day out, just saying life negativity to something so profound is what she was sharing with all of us. If this is something which really resonates with you, please take the decision to be part of this program. Next, we have Ma Sonal Chauhan from India.
Nithyananda.
Yes, Nithyanandam, Ma Sonal Chauhan. Yes, great. Yes. So we have Ma Sonal Chauhan. She has an amazing journey, to share. She's from northern part of India, and she has been in a beautiful family, and also she has been in the corporate lifestyle, and she has an amazing journey. And I'd like to welcome Ma Sonal Chauhan. Nithyanandam, Ma.
Nithyanandam, thank you so much.
Yeah. Yes, Ma.
Yes.
No problem.
That was wonderful to have you in the show today.
Yeah.
And we would like to know more about yourself in terms of, such a young woman, married and having a child. What made you to, travel in this path? What were the circumstances that really made you to travel in this path and take up this journey to look deeper into the inner sciences?
Yes. I'm from Delhi, and since childhood, I did not have much spiritual environment. It was all like we were taught to be ambitious and to be good in studies and all. And when I was growing up, I had some problems like aggressiveness, short-temperedness, and a few more, it's a few fears and all these things. And I have seen this has impacted even later in my life. Like when I was in corporate world, I felt that I was struggling everywhere. I was not getting success, what I wanted. I was facing issues in relationships. Various other problems. So I was constantly seeking some solutions, like how to get out of these issues, because they were not serving me. I was constantly dissatisfied in my life. Then I contacted few of my friends who were spiritually inclined, and one of my friends, he introduced me to Swamiji. And when I started watching his videos, it was like I used to watch constantly daily his videos, and it was like, this is what I want. And then I didn't delay, attended NDY, and then a few more sessions on Zoom, which really helped me in my personal and other things. I felt more empowered day by day. And then I attended Paramashivoham, and it was a very progressive journey and experience. Uh, it was like my life was changing. I was feeling, it was a feeling like, wow, this is what I want in my life. And I was searching for this only. My soul was searching for this only. So, I feel so blessed that I've got Swamiji in my life now. So these are my earlier days. I have pictures
Please wait, ma.
before I met Swamiji. My life was very materialistic, and I had a very narrow view of life.
"64 manifestations documented in Veda Agamas, which he himself describes. Manifesting all of them in you is the complete manifestation of Paramadvaita." I am your Guru. I will make you enlightened. It's my commitment.
Okay.
"64 manifestations documented in Veda Agamas, which he himself describes. Manifesting all of them in you is the complete manifestation of Paramadvaita." I am your Guru. I will make you enlightened. It's my commitment. Till you become Paramashiva, I won't rest. Don't worry at all. To all my disciples, I give you this as a boon. I'll swallow everything with which you are stuck and liberate you all. Born and practicing Hindus, listen. Nirvikalpa Samadhi, Navakanda Yoga Samadhi, Jiva Samadhi, Divya Sarira, all this is not only possible, simple. Have all the equipments, gadgets, comforts, luxuries of modern day. But when it comes to inner software, just go back to your ancestors. "64 manifestations documented in Veda Agamas, which he himself describes. Manifesting all of them in you is the complete manifestation of Paramashiva. Your consciousness as power at this moment to swallow, digest, clean up all negativity and all toxins. Develop a powerful will persistence. That's the most important asset for life. I am not giving you some life positive blah blah. I am giving you the facts of life. I am triggering your consciousness. Time itself is nothing but your decision to struggle with the same rut. Your decision to struggle with the same rut is time, Kala. Your decision to swallow time is Kala Bhairava. Stand. Be a conscious woman or man. Be conscious being. Shrink the time through conscious will persistence. Make the future into present by being ferocious with yourself.
Restarting with Ma Sonal. So Ma Sonal, welcome back. So she is actually from the northern part of India, and she has had a beautiful family, and she has also had a corporate career. And welcome, Ma Sonal. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and what you went through in your life.
Nithyanandam, everyone. I'm Sonal. I'm from Delhi, and since childhood, I did not have much spiritual connection or spiritual environment. I was totally ambitious, and that's what I was taught, to be good in academics and all. And since I was growing up, I constantly faced issues related to short-temperedness and aggressiveness. And I had fears, certain fears in my life. And when I entered into corporate life, then also I was facing these issues, and I was dissatisfied also with my job, and didn't I felt like I am not getting the success which I want. So and in family also, I was I was not very much I mean, other relationships were also not very much satisfying for me. So I was constantly looking that, okay, I should have some permanent solution. And I contacted few of my friends who were spiritually inclined, and one of them got me introduced to Swamiji. And my journey started with Swamiji by watching his YouTube videos. And when I started watching his videos, my soul was getting what I wanted, and I immediately joined the program NDY. That was a 3 days program, and then I joined few of the Zoom sessions, and which were very, very helpful for me. Yes. And after that, I joined Paramashivoham. And with the Paramashivoham, I had, great experiences, and it was a very progressive journey for me. So this is how it all started. Yeah.
Okay, good. That's great. See, this is one of the common problems.
Yes.
That's great. Thank you, Ma. I wanted to highlight here, this is the common problem, with temperament, with people getting aggressive, and, at the same time, working through the corporate, challenges and, things like that. So it's a very common, problem, but definitely, a lot of people, have, I'm sure people watching can put themselves in your shoes, and kind of feel what you were going through. What made you look for the solution that you really wanted?
At certain point of time, I realized that only these things, these materialistic world, is not going to be helpful. We need something else. And so this made me to search solutions. And I've seen people around me, they are struggling with these problems, and they are stuck in these small issues. And they have a very narrow view of life, and they don't think much beyond this, like job and money and family, and still they are struggling. I have seen most of the people in corporate world and around me, they are not internally they are not that very blissful and happy, which I experience now. So this made me to search for the solutions.
Great. And if you can, share also, about how has been, you mentioned about, the progressive, progressive, improvement or solutions, that you had, attending multiple programs, from NDY, and most recent being, Paramashivoham. How, if you can, share a little bit of, light into how your life has, beautifully transformed, after, darshans and, yeah, of course, initiations, and if you can share some of your experiences.
Yes. I feel I had all the great experiences after I joined Paramashiva. And the problems which I have, they look like very irrelevant in my life, and they don't have power over me now. And I feel very
Wow.
responsible in my life, and I have a lot more confidence than before. I feel I can do a lot more things and much more which I used to think before. And in my life also, I have actually started multitasking, and I do various things which I couldn't even imagine. I have spiritual routine. I take care of my family. I even work, and and I feel responsible for my friends and family also, that okay, they should also experience these things, because I feel very pity, very sorry for them when I see them, the kind of lifestyle they are living and they are suffering. So yeah, I really feel that very empowered now, that I should also help them in that way, and I'm trying also. I'm doing that also. So Paramashivoham has totally transformed me.
Wow, that's great. That's great. I think, we have heard, amazing, breakthroughs that you've, kind of, shared. And I really want, our viewers, here to understand that when the superconscious mutation, happens, to this very special initiations, see how it can change. You don't not only take responsibility for yourself, but you start taking responsibility for people in your, around you, in your family and community, and you start thinking larger than outside of yourself. And let it be with Ma Sonal, how beautifully she shared. She's able to multitask things, and now one of the greatest, one of the beautiful things I think she shared is the many of the problems became irrelevant in her life, and that is simply amazing, because so much of people cannot let go of their problems. They have decided to live with their problems, without, because they don't see a solution. And here we have a solution. And really, this thank you for sharing, Masono, today. And what would be your single takeaway, if you have to share with our audience?
I would like to say everyone that please do attend this program. Don't get stuck in these problems, and even if you read thousands of books and do so many spiritual things, and this is a very slow process. I feel that you should speed up your process and attend this program because you will get quick solutions, and you will get a very blissful life. So I urge everyone to attend the program and connect to Swamiji. He's an incarnation, and he can give you everything very, very easily. So you don't have to, work too much hard and waste too much of time. So don't waste your precious time.
Yes. Yes, well said, Ma. Well said. People, wait for lifetimes, to get initiations and Kundalini awakening and many such, unique processes, that Swamiji has brought to this planet Earth, and really well said. So I request all the viewers to put in your intention today, and as will persistence is the key. You make your will persistent now and fill in the intention at kailasa.org/Paramashivoham. And if you have already made the decision, looking at how beautifully the changes can happen, in people who have attended the 21-day initiations, go ahead and prepare yourself, to be there on Paramashivoham 3 on season 3. So with that, I hand over to Ma Pranapriya for our next live sharing. Nithyananda Ma.
Thank you, Aya. Thank you so much, Sonalji. That was such a beautiful sharing. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yes. Now, next we have Ma Prema Sundari from Chennai. And she has a very, very, very interesting journey. How Swamiji took care of her search of Guru right from the age of 13. She's been searching Guru, and how Swamiji happened in her life and simply fulfilled her in all dimensions. It is such a sweet sharing. So we welcome Ma Prema Sundari to the segment today, Nithyananda Ma.
Nithyananda Ma.
Yes, thank you so much for joining our segment today. And so Ma Prema Sundari is actually working in customs, Chennai Customs, and she's a very successful officer for several years in Chennai Customs. And she has a very interesting journey where she was seeking for Guru right from the age of 13. So, can't wait to hear more from her. Yes, Ma, please go ahead and share. How did your search for Guru start? And how Swamiji literally fulfilled you in that dimension?
Yes, ma'am. Nithyanandam, everyone. Actually, my spiritual journey started 1 year before, at the age of 12, when I got introduced to Andal. The way Andal developed her devotion towards Ranganatha and how she merged with him. So I used to tell at the age of 12 itself, I will also marry Krishna only, like Andal. But then after, at the age of 13, I got introduced to Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa through the book called Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. So while reading that book, I just came to an understanding that God comes in the form of human being to liberate the humanity. So I used to feel very bad that I have missed him. But I never had the understanding that God is always available on planet Earth for a seeker. And in the year 2007, I just suddenly had a thought. I should see God with my naked eyes. Okay. Then actually from 2006, I started hearing about Swamiji. But my inner space was filled with Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa as the ultimate Guru. So then in 2008, I happened to have the first darshan of Swamiji in Tiruvannamalai. So I saw Swamiji at that time only as a sannyasi. And then the very next day, I watched his video, which had the title, Enlightenment is the Purpose of Life. In that video, Swamiji narrates a story which was told by Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. The story goes like this. Once there was an invisible Brahma Rakshasa sitting on the steps of a village tank, and whoever comes to the tank to fetch water or for any other purpose, that Brahma Rakshasa would tie one strand of his hair around the leg of the person, and wherever the person goes, the hair will keep growing. The length will keep increasing. And whenever the Brahma Rakshasa feels hungry, he will pull one hair and he'll swallow that person. So Ramakrishna says, similarly, when you get an opportunity to have a darshan of an enlightened master, do not miss it, because he will also tie his jnana sadai, that is enlightenment hair, that strand he will tie around his leg, around your leg, and he will pull you at the right time. So after telling this story, Swamiji just showed his hair and asked, now do you know why I'm having such a long hair? That was the moment for me. I just realized that he is an incarnation. So From that moment, my journey keeps moving ahead and ahead, ma.
Wow, that's such a powerful story. Like how literally Guru graces, and he gives the exact thing, very exact thing, what each being is looking for. It's so beautiful, ma. So then, how did you progress further? How did you progress further in this quest into finding yourself and exploring all the dimensions of Guru? How did you progress yourself in that journey?
Yes, ma. So I met him in 2008, 2009. I happened to attend the first program, that is ASP. But before that, I met Swamiji in Chennai Book Fair. At that time, that was my second darshan of Swamiji. And I used to say, people generally say, no, love at first sight. For me, love at second sight. Because when I saw Swamiji for the second time, I saw him as God. Okay, so we were just, I know simply that we were glad to meet each other because I was giving such a big smile at him, and Swamiji was also smiling at me so widely. And then I told him, I will see you on 26th. I'm just telling Swamiji very casually. That is 26th January. I attended a Kalpataru, my first Kalpataru, and then I attended ASP, then NSP, then Healers Initiation. Continuously, I attended. Then in 2012 January, I attended my Inner Awakening. Then every December, I started attending Inner Awakenings. Then, of course, I have attended many weekend programs also. So up to the second season of Paramashivoham level 3, I have been continuously traveling with Swamiji. Yes, ma'am.
Great, man. That's so fantastic. And I'm sure you've been watching the last two webinars where Bhagavan has revealed such powerful sacred truths on Navakanda Yoga Samadhi, which is, higher level Samadhi than Nirvikalpa Samadhi itself. Bhagavan was beautifully revealing. And what actually made you feel so empowered listening to these truths? And what have you what are you taking away from these revelations?
Yes, ma'am. When Swamiji revealed about this Navakanda Yoga Samadhi, and when he said it is higher than Nirvikalpa Samadhi itself, what I felt is attaining Nirvikalpa Samadhi is becoming rich. Okay, but attaining Navakanda Yoga Samadhi is sharing your wealth with others and enjoying the wealth completely. Because those who attain the Divya Sharira through Navakanda Yoga Samadhi get the access to reach the higher lokas. Actually, Swamiji's plan is reviving the ancient that is enlightened civilization, KAILASA, where all the sciences and technologies are available for the humanity to live a beautiful, blissful, happy lifestyle. So we have read in many stories like where our Arunagiri Nada, the greatest devotee of Lord Muruga, goes to Indraloka to fetch Parijata flower, which the very smell of the flower is capable of giving back the vision of one if he has lost the eyesight. So the king loses the eyesight. So Arunagiri Nada goes to Indraloka. Like that, we have come across many stories where human beings used to visit higher lokas. So Swamiji urges the born and practicing Hindus to take the responsibility to save the planet Earth and to save the humanity by attaining not only Nirvikalpa Samadhi but also Navakanda Yoga Samadhi. So I felt, and he also said it is simple, it is possible, just by making our breathing pattern pattern equal to Paramashiva. So how am I going to do it? Just by being in the breathing space of Paramashiva, who is none other than our beloved Bhagavan Swami Nithyananda Paramashivam. So after listening to yesterday's webinar, I just know that I cannot say no to him, and it is the only purpose for which I have come and have taken birth as a Hindu. So
wow.
I have.
It is such a powerful declaration. So you're going to join us for October 6th, Paramashivam level 3, is it?
Yes, I have already filled up my intention. See, what I feel is sometimes when Swamiji says his first statement itself, I am not come here to prove that I am God, I have come to prove that you are God. So whether I trust in my inner potential or not, but I trust the trust Swamiji has in me. Okay, so just a simple obedience, simple devotion to Swamiji. I have filled up my intention form, and when I say yes to him, he is there to make my intention into reality.
Beautiful, beautiful, Ma. That's such a powerful sharing that you've shared with all of us. Thank you so much for joining the show today, and see you soon in Paramashivam Level 3 program.
Yes, Ma. Thank you, Ma. Thank you all.
Yes, that was Ma Prema Sundari from Chennai, who is very clearly, boldly, she's deciding, yes, when Swamiji is revealing these sacred truths, I cannot say no. I just have to be there because I have just happened to be with him. That's such a powerful revelation, that powerful sharing that Ma Prema Sundari has got. And she has shared with us. So all viewers, all we need to do is just register yourself. You will see how each and every obstacle, so-called obstacle that you perceive, it is not an obstacle anymore. All it requires is your decision to receive these sacred truths and your will persistence, right? So when you show that will persistence, any obstacle will not be an obstacle. You will see yourself being with Paramashiva, enjoying and receiving all these sacred initiations from him. So now we're going to see a small, scientific understanding of the Navakanda Yoga Samadhi. So anything that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Swamiji, has revealed to us, it is always ahead. It is always ahead of what the scientific community understands and perceives. So many truths, so many revelations that Swamiji shared, it is already shared, and it is it is a technology that he shares, and science usually catches up. So just to explain the Navakanda Yoga Samadhi, one of the ways that modern science is starting to understand the Hindu science of Divya Sharira. Right? So a science of Divya Sharira is nothing but ability to access this, access and be established in Navakanda Yoga Samadhi. So it is through biophotons. Now, what is this biophoton? Biophotons are nothing but photons of light in ultraviolet or low visible light range. Right? So these are the photons in the wavelength of ultraviolet or UV. Or the low visible light range that are produced by any biological system. So they are actually non-thermal in nature, and it is similar to what we usually call as bioluciferase or luciferase, which is usually emitted as a light-emitting photon on some of the microbes, right? So these biophotons are responsible for this light emission from a bioorganism. And now, as Swamiji revealed that in the first stages of Navakanda Yoga Samadhi, the minor chakras, the 14 minor chakras, first start entering the higher frequencies, right? So basically the modern science, what we understand as the UV light, that's what Swamiji says, that as we go up the higher dimensions, the light frequency goes to infinity. That is already revealed by Bhagavan in many other satsangs, that as we go up the higher dimensions, higher lokas and higher vertical planes, literally the light becomes infinity, light frequency becomes infinity. Now, the biological tissues typically produce observed radiant emittance in the visible and ultraviolet frequencies. Usually the range is from 10 to 15 or 10 to 23 watts per centimeter square. But this low level of light has much weaker intensity than the visible light, right? So and that is what is being produced by this bioluminescence. But the biophotons that is emitted by the bioorganism, it is detected above the background of the thermal radiation. So this is this wonderful science that Swamiji has revealed. With the available technology, science is showing how the human body can emit this light beyond the visible spectrum. And in a regular human body, that emits light at a very low levels, it is usually discovered by the science, and that is what Swamiji is beautifully sharing with us, as the Navakanda Yoga Samadhi takes the whole body to the ultimate light frequency, that is infinity, Kailasa. And one other parallel that we can really understand is the participatory universe, the concept that John Wheeler, who is one of the mentors to many of today's understandings and discoveries of quantum physics, he says, who coined the term called black hole. He suggested that the nature of reality was revealed by some bizarre laws of quantum physics. And according to his theory, basically, the subatomic particle, it exists in both light and the waveform, right? And when it exists in waveform, the laws are completely dependent on the way how it exists in the waveform. And when it exists in the particle nature, exists as a particle, then the laws that govern their existence is completely dependent, and it is formed based on its particle nature. So the Wheeler's hunch is that the entire universe is built like an enormous feedback loop, and the loop in which we contribute to the ongoing creation of not just the present and the future, but the past also. To illustrate this idea, what he devised is called a delayed choice experiment, which he tested in laboratory several years before. And this experiment was a variation on famous double slit experiment, in which the dual nature of light that exists as both a particle and a wave is completely exposed depending on how and what are the conditions the experiment is conducted. Right. So unlike the original double slit experiment, Wheeler's version, the method of detection, was changed after the photon had passed the double split. That's something phenomenal. And that's aligned to what the Hinduism has revealed and what Swamiji has been revealing through various truths and satsangs. The experiment showed that the path of the photon was not fixed until the physicists made their measurements. In other words, the outcome of the experiment completely depends upon the physicist, the person who tries to subject the light under whatever conditions, the response and the parameters tested, that actually determines the outcome of the experiment. So when it comes to quantum physics, the reality really depends on how we interact. This is such a very important revelation Swamiji has shared in multiple satsangs, multiple times. And that is exactly what we receive as initiation in Paramashivam level 3 also. There are several days where Swamiji literally bolts these truths within us. Reality is nothing but what we see, what we observe. And many scientific theories and interpretations like participatory anthroponic principles and Copenhagen interpretations that say that observer plays a very important role defining the way reality exists. So what Swamiji shares is the reality that we are seeing is actually based on the perception that we hold, but the absolute reality, that is where Swamiji initiates all of us in this amazing 21-day program, which is Paramashivoham level 3, where all of us are initiated to experience the absolute reality, which is Paramashiva. Each and every one of us carry that bioenergy that we are Paramashiva, which is the ultimate absolute reality that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, initiates each and every one of us. So, so far we saw some amazing things in this webinar today. One is all the various sharings from participants around the world, sharing their experiences and how they are empowered, receiving the initiations and blessings of Swamiji in this Paramashivam level 3 program, and how they feel empowered as a superconscious mutant. So please do not miss this opportunity. All it really takes is your decision. Once you have decided, you will see how there are no obstacles. You're already there, already receiving this amazing truths that Bhagavan is offering and gifting the whole humanity with, which is superconscious mutant. So now let us get ready to receive the darshan and initiation of Paramavatara of Paramashiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Before we receive his initiation and sacred truths, let us all take a moment to express our deep gratitude for the incarnation, for the Paramavatara to assume this form. It is his compassion that he is giving this ultimate truths to entire humanity. This is the ultimate possibility for each and every one of us to experience, to explore higher planes of existence. Let us take a moment to express our gratitude. Let us invoke his presence in our Ananda Gandha. Swamiji beautifully shares all that requires is your will. Let us declare today, let my will be aligned to the cosmic will. Let my will be aligned to the will of Paramashiva. Let my will be aligned to the will of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, my Guru, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Let my will be aligned to the will of my Guru. With that declaration, let us receive his initiation and blessings. I request all the participants to please close your eyes. Please sit straight with your head, neck, and spine in the straight line. Inhale as deeply as possible. Exhale as slowly as possible. Please chant the Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Om Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Samarambam Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. I welcome you all with my love and blessing. I welcome all the living, practicing Hindus from all over the world, de facto Kailasians. I welcome all the Sarvanyapita Kartas, Yajaman, ministers, ambassadors, diplomats, citizens, consulate generals, Mantreshwara, Vidyeshwara, Ganeshwara, Lokeshwara, Astreshwara, I welcome all of you with my love and blessings. Paramashiva's message directly from KAILASA. Listen. There's a space where time is not past, present, future. It is just is. The pure isness forms the basis of existence of time. In that time, which is only is, there is no past, present, future. Past, present, future, all is. In that space, Paramashiva manifested all his 64 forms for various leelas. For example, Lingodbhava manifested to establish the supremacy of Paramashiva. Paratva of Paramashiva, Shiva Paratva, is established by Lingodbhava by showing Brahma and Vishnu their space and their manifestations. Listen. But the Lingodbhava can never be called as was. At that time, Lingodbhava manifested. You can't say Lingodbhava is. Kalabhairava manifested to remove the ego of Brahma, to remove one head, the ego head of the Brahma. Actually, we can't use the word manifested. He is manifesting still now, will be manifesting forever. Because the space where Paramashiva manifested as Kalabhairava, as Lingodbhava, does not have past, present, future. Listen. The space from which Kalabhairava manifested the space from which Lingodbhava manifested. For example, one more example. Veerabhadra manifested. Paramashiva manifested as Veerabhadra to kill Daksha, destroy Dakshayanya. Actually, we can't say he manifested and disappeared. No, we can't use that word. He is manifesting. Paramashiva manifested as Kala Kala, Mrityunjaya. He killed Kala, death, for Markandeya and stood as Kalagala. We can't say this in past tense because he is still there. He manifested in a space where there is no past, present, future. It is just simply present. You need to understand that space you need to understand. Only then you will understand the 64 different manifestations, superconscious mutation of Paramashiva. Understand? Even if you intellectually understand the superconscious mutations of Paramashiva, you will manifest him. You will celebrate him. You will enjoy him. You will be alive. And you yourself will experience the very manifestations of Paramashiva in your existence. See, Paramashiva manifested as Dakshinamurti to teach Veda and Agamas to Targavana rishis. It's not that it was a past. If you become silent to free yourself from the past, present, future, through unclutching, you can see he is teaching even now in that huge cosmic sound. Om, even recorded by NASA. That soundless sound, Anahata Dhvani. Om. If you can hear it through the deep unclutching, you can see Dakshinamurti teaching you now. Dakshinamurti teaching you now. Paramashiva manifested as Ardhanarishwara to give darshan to Bringi Maharshi and to teach the whole universe. Devi is always one with him. She is in oneness. Shakti is not separate. So, each of the 64 manifestations of Paramashiva is one expression, one superconscious manifestation, one of the superconscious mutation of Paramashiva in his various manifestations. I should say superconscious mutation manifestation of Paramashiva is countless. All these manifestations are beyond time. I'm talking about 64 because he revealed 64 to planet Earth for all of us to know. But surely there's a lot more. For all of us, what we need to know is revealed. Understand? First, meditate and try to understand there is a space without past, present, future. Just is. Past, present, future is nothing but time cognized by the mind, which can cognize only small things, which cannot cognize the pure isness. When you are agitated and restless inside, you cognize only small things. Kanda, kanda, kanda. Small, small, small. When you are peaceful, unclutched, powerful inside, you see akanda, unbroken, which is no Jesus, pure akanda. That is why in Hindu tradition, time is always shown as circular, not linear. It is circular. Soon the world will realize the linear idea of time may be useful for history documentation, but in reality, if you want to understand time, use the time as one of the strength for civilization. You need to understand the circular existence of time. Listen. For your day-to-day building a house or surveying the land, the idea earth is flat is useful. But to understand the whole universe, the idea earth is flat is insufficient. You need to come to the truth, earth is globe. Same way, to record history, understanding time as a linear movement may be useful. But to understand time in reality, realizing time is circular, and time, there is no was, will. Time is. Time is. If you cognize that, you will understand Dakshinamurti is manifesting now. Paramashiva is manifesting as Linga now. As a Linga Murti now. Paramashiva is manifesting as Lingodbhava Murti now. Understand? All you need to enjoy the powers and superconscious mutation of 64 manifestations of Paramashiva is to have the right knowledge about all that 64 manifestations. You need to understand Paramashiva as he introduces himself. Listen, if you want to understand me, you need to understand as I introduce me to you. You can't understand me with your own independent investigation. Neither your mind is capable nor your consciousness is powerful to grasp my existence as it is. You can only understand my existence as per my introduction. Same way, you can understand Paramashiva only based on his own introduction. Understanding him based on his own introduction awakens something called Shraddha in you, not faith. Faith is poor word. Shraddha. And Shraddha breeds bhakti. And all the Ananta Kalyana Gunas, auspicious qualities of Paramashiva starts manifesting in you. Powers of Paramashiva starts manifesting in you. Listen, you just need to know what is swimming and see somebody is swimming, then simply your muscle memory starts manifesting swimming. Same way, you just need to know about the superconscious mutations of Paramashiva and see someone manifesting it. Your muscle memory, bioenergy, all will just pick up. And simply you will enjoy superconscious mutation of Paramashiva. So today I am trying to introduce the principles of superconscious mutation of Paramashiva and the 64 manifestation which he himself introduces in Veda and Agamas. I'll introduce one by one. Listen intensely. Even if you missed, watch this satsang again, because this satsang is not was, it will be is forever. You can replay and watch. It is not was, is or will be. It is. What Paramashiva manifested as Dakshinamurti to Sanakadi Rishis, what he revealed as Uma Maheshwara to Uma Parvati, now I am revealing to all of you the same, from that same isness, tatata. So receive, replay, internalize, and start manifesting. Lingamurti, this whole universe, even NASA says now, they are very clear, the whole universe in the form of linga. Trillions and trillions and trillions of Brahmanda as manifested as linga. Next, Lingodbhava. Paramashiva manifests as Lingodbhava, Arunachala. To resolve the conflict between Brahma and Vishnu and establish the real truth about the supremacy. Next, he manifests as Mukhalinga, means linga with 5 faces of Sadashiva: creation, sustenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion, and liberation. Srishti, Sthiti, Samhara, Tirobhava, Anugraha. These 5 faces of Paramashiva manifesting in linga, Mukhalinga. Next, Sadashivamurti. The same 5 action of Srishti, Sthiti, Samhara, Tirobhava, Anugraha. Creation, sustenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion, and liberation. In the form with 5 heads, 10 hands, and 15 eyes, he manifests as Sadashivamurti. Listen. Listen very sincerely, intensely. The introduction I am giving for each Murti is directly from Agama, as he introduced himself in Vedas and Agamas. I am just giving you English translation. All you need to do, sit with unclutched space and listen. You can see that very manifestation now in present. This whole Paramashivoham level 3, all I am trying to do is put this superconscious mutation in you. Full 21 days, what I am trying to do elaborately, I am trying to do in this 3 hours webinar. 3 hours, I can say 5 hours webinar. If you just listen intensely, as he revealed himself, you can experience now. Sadashivamurti. Next to Sadashivamurti is Mahasadashivamurti. Listen. Mahasadashivamurti is 25 dimensions together. Understand first this 5 dimension of Sadashivamurti. Creation, sustenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion, liberation. Actually, you are doing these 5 actions every day. Every day you create some part of your body newly, some part of your muscle memory newly, some part of your biomemory newly, some part of your bioenergy newly. And every day you do sustenance of your body, mind, being. Every day you do rejuvenation. Millions of cells die and millions get newly generated, replenished, rejuvenated. If you just understand this, you will see all, including cancer in your body, will be healed. Just understand this one dimension of Paramashiva. Every cell dying in your body, every cell newly creating in your body, that samhara is not ordinary destruction, it is rejuvenation. Anyone who meditates on Rudra, Lord of Samhara, will be free from all types of cancers. All types of cancers. Mukta, make sure your dad is sitting for the session. I'm not seeing him in the camera. Make sure he's on the camera. Listen. If you want Nitya Yavana, eternally to remain young, beautiful, handsome, meditate on Rudra. Rudra is Paramashiva's manifestation of rejuvenation. So understand, if you understand you are doing every day rejuvenation in your body, not only you will heal yourself from all disease, you will ever be young, energetic, beautiful, because you will not allow the tiredness, boredom to settle down in your body. If you want to be eternally young, beautiful, meditate on Rudra. Invoke Rudra in your inner space. That is why in Hindu tradition, the people who worship Rudra connect with Rudra and become eternally young and beautiful are called Rudra Kanyas. You need only one understanding. You are the one who is rejuvenating. Same way, you should know you are the one who is deluding yourself. The agitation, any form of agitation, any form of perturbed restlessness, agitation is you putting yourself in delusion. Understand? Whenever you are agitated, deluded, restless, powerless, all you need is hold and clutching. Unclutching is the Trishula of Paramashiva. Just hold the unclutching. The greatest Shivastra, Pashupatastra, is unclutching. Hold, unclutching, and settle down from the delusion, agitation, powerlessness. You will simply enter into liberation, anugraha, moksha. You can create a new window for him. You can give one more connection. He doesn't need to get up from the bed. He can, but I want to see him and I want him to see me. You can get one more connection. Listen. All of you listen. If you understand 5 action, Panchakritya, Srishti, creation, Sthiti, sustenance, Samhara, rejuvenation, Prabhava, delusion, Anugraha, liberation. Listen. If you understand all these 5, if you understand all these 5 is happening in your very body, mind, every day, connect with that source energy which is doing that every day in you. That is Rudra. And bow down to that Rudra every morning. Oh Mahadeva, Paramashiva, Oh Rudra, you are here. Doing this great rejuvenation in me. I trust your decision. I trust you. Please be intensely alive in me. Keep me eternally young by rejuvenating me. I tell you, listen carefully. Listen intensely. Simple, ordinary connection with Rudra energy, with Rudra who is present. Understand? Rudra is not past. He is present. He is actually just now watching over me and making sure I utter the right word, which creates right introduction about himself in all of you. He is sitting right now in my tongue and moving, making me utter right words. So you all understand Rudra properly in your inner space. Actually, if you are going through any disease or your family, especially your own DNA, like your own father, mother, grandmother, grandfather, or any of your own blood relation going through any serious illnesses, just sit next to them. See, if you are going through, sit with yourself and see how the Rudra is working. And because you never recognize the Rudra's work due to your delusion and agitation, you feel you are falling into destruction and death. If you just sit and watch yourself or them going through Rudra, actually you will also understand the power of Rudra. You will even heal them. Suhas, sit with your grandfather and you try this as a meditation. See how Rudra is rejuvenating in his body and how Rudra is doing his work in his body. One, you will understand the power of Rudra. Not only you will manifest the power of Rudra, you will even be able to help him and heal him and rejuvenate him. I tell you, usually, when you start all these meditation or connecting or these higher manifestations, then you yourself going through some physical disease, it will be a little difficult. That time you need my grace directly. Directly, I need to intervene and lift you. But if some of your relatives, blood relatives are going through, sit with them and see. That will actually awaken Rudra in you. It will help you and the other person, both. So it will be all a very powerful manifestation. Somebody is asking Swamiji, what is the best Rudra mantra to invoke Rudra. See, in Samaya Diksha, the mantra you get, I'll give Samaya Diksha now itself to all of you. Om Ham Haum Shivaya Namaha. This is the best mantra to manifest all 64 manifestations of Paramashiva. Om Ham Haum Shivaya Namaha. 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 Now listen. The next form is Mahasadashiva Murti. Paramashiva with his 25 dimensions. These 5 aspects like a creation, sustenance, rejuvenation, delusion, liberation. These 5 into 5. I'll explain, listen. Creation getting created. Creation getting sustained. Creation energy getting rejuvenated. Creation energy put into delusion and pulled out of delusion. Creation energy liberated. Liberation. Creation goes through, creation energy goes through these 5. Same way, sustenance energy goes through the 5. Sustenance energy getting created, getting sustained, getting rejuvenated, getting deluded, getting liberated. Same way, rejuvenation energy getting created, getting sustained, getting rejuvenated, getting deluded, and getting liberated. This 5 going into this 5 forms 25 cosmic dimension. These 25 cosmic dimensions of Paramashiva is the 25 face of Paramashiva. Listen. This 25 face, even if you understand intellectually, and start connecting. He will simply manifest in you because he is. Right now, he is sitting with all the auspicious, joyful, blissful, kolagala, nityotsava, swarupa in Maha Kailasa and manifesting through me, through the right words and body language and the superconscious energy, and initiating all of you right now. Even if you just internalize and understand, you will connect with him right now and manifest his all superconscious mutations in you verily. Paramashiva, in his Maha Sadashiva Murti manifestation, who is the Lord of Maha Kailasa, with 25 heads, 75 eyes, 50 hands, Sarva Mangala, Sarva Atsarya, Sarva Swatantra, Sarvanyatva, Ananta Kalyana Gunaswarupa, Tejomaya, Swayam Prakas, in his form, is alive. Listen, you are introduced by him, about him. Now, he is introducing himself, about himself to you right now. So, just sit and receive. KAILASA Vision team has done a beautiful job of collecting all these 64 manifestations and naming it in English for you to connect. When I describe, you can easily connect. I know, surely within these 5 hours, all the 64 explaining all the 64 manifestations may not be possible, but at least I'll give a simple introduction and connect. So you can all start getting the glimpse. For now, The next form of Paramashiva Uma Maheshwara Murti. This is the manifestation, Paramashiva, teaching Vedas and Agamas, revealing Vedas and Agamas to himself, Paramashiva Shakti. This is the form we worship in Adi KAILASA in Bangalore and Paschima KAILASA in Los Angeles. In both Adi KAILASA in Bangalore and Paschima KAILASA in Los Angeles, both places, this form is only worshipped of Paramashiva. He, having Devi in his lap, revealing Vedas and Agamas to Devi with a tremendous love, care and blessings. The next form is Sukhasana Murti. Again, he is also manifested mainly for teaching Vedas and Agamas and giving the grace not only to Devi, along with Devi to everyone. That is why in this form, the Devi and he both will be sitting in Samasana on the Sarvanya Pita of KAILASA. He and Devi both will be sitting on Samasana. In Uma Maheshwara Murti, Devi will be sitting on his lap. Now, Devi will be sitting in Samasana with him because along with Devi, he graces the whole universe. That is Sukhasana Murti. Next form, manifestation, is Umesha Murti. In this Murti also, he graces to the whole universe along with Uma. So, he is called Umesha Murti. Next form is Somaskanda Murti. This manifestation is with Uma and Skanda. Somaskanda Murti means Soma, Asi, Skanda. Soma means Paramashiva himself. Asi means his own Devi, his own manifestation in the female form. Paramashiva Shakti, Devi, Asi. Skanda, his own manifestation, Subramanya. So all the three together is Somaskanda Murti. This form is the largest worshipped form of Paramashiva almost in all temples. See, the first will be Linga form. Next will be the Somaskanda Murti form. He receives all the Utsavas, Brahmotsavas, almost in all temples. So he is the most popular form of Paramashiva, most worshipped superconscious mutation of Paramashiva, Somaskanda Murti. The next, Chandrasekhara Murti. The Paramashiva manifested to save moon, Chandra. And this is the Chandrasekhara Murti. Next, Vrishabharuda Murti. Paramashiva sitting on Rishabha. his Vahana with Devi. He is the Rishabharuda manifestation of Paramashiva. Next is Vrishabhantika Murti. He leaning, standing next to Rishabha, leaning on Rishabha in a very unique way. It's a very beautiful form. If you go to Los Angeles temple, in the entrance, you will see this form, because this is exactly the form he gave me a darshan in my old quarters in Biddi. So I made this form, Rishabhandagar, and wanted to install there, but I sent it to Los Angeles, thinking that I will make another one for Los Angeles. In the reception, if you see, he will be standing tall. That deity is Rishabhantaka Murti. Still, his Rishabha has not reached Adi Kailasa. Sorry, Paschima Kailasa. Rishabha is also made. It is there in Adi Kailasa. That has to be brought and assembled. But that Rishabhantaka Murti is there in Paschim Kailasa. I think still Rishabha has not yet got the visa. He has to get the visa and come. Next form. Bhujanga Lalita Murti. Listen. This whole universe rests in Paramashiva, on him. Paramashiva reveals this truth to the whole, all the living beings. In him, everything resides. That manifestation of that superconscious truth is Bhujanga Lalita Murti. Next. Bhujanga Trashamurti. It is like he stands tall. Listen to this truth. He stands tall even during the Mahapralaya, when everything is destroyed, everything actually merges inside him, rests in him. See, even when the universe is manifested, that stays on him. That is described by Bhujanga Lalita Murti. Even during the Pralaya, everything goes in him, is demonstrated by Bhujanga Trashamurti. Next. Sandhya Nrittamurti. See, Sandhya means the day and night meeting. And destruction, pralaya, and creation meeting. For you to understand roughly, you can roughly understand as Ice Age. During every Ice Age, he dances the cosmic dance. That is called Sandhya Tandava. Listen. Whenever you feel everything in your life is falling apart, suddenly business is collapsing, wife is leaving, and kids are not listening to you. It's almost like your whole life is going. What do you think as your life is going? Health is failing. Whenever you feel that pralaya is happening in you, meditate on this Sandhya Nrittamurti. Invoke him. Mahadeva, you are doing your Sandhya Nritya in my life. Just show me you are doing the Sandhya Nritya. That's enough. He will simply manifest auspiciousness in you. Listen. He just wants you to know he is doing Sandhya Tandava in your life. If you recognize it, you will say, all right, come on. Now it is time. Let's start the creation. Let the new yuga start. Let the new universe manifest. Let the new life manifest. If you want new life manifest in you, connect with Sandhya Tandava Murti. Nritta means Tandava. Sandhya Nritta Murti. Tandava goes through certain discipline. Nritta is beyond all discipline. So, if you feel things are falling apart in your life, connect with Sandhya Nritta Murti. Mahadeva, Paramashiva, I know you are doing Sandhya Nritta in me. Just reveal that you are doing Sandhya Nritta, so I'll be in peace. That's all. You'll feel very shy. Hey, this fellow caught me. Now he knows my Leela. Okay, come on. All right. I'll create the new life for you. I'll manifest new life for you. Delusion will delude you as long as you have not recognized the delusion is deluding you. The moment you recognize delusion is deluding you, it can no more delude you. Delusion cannot delude you. The moment you recognize delusion is deluding you. Actually, even this Sandhya Nritta Murti we have in Seattle Temple. Seattle Temple, we have not only the huge Nataraja, Ananda Nataraja, we have some more dancing forms of Shiva. I think we have done some, that 108 dancing forms of Shiva and sent to different temples few deities, few forms. So Seattle has Ananda Tandava, as in Chidambaram, and Sandhya Nritta Murti, and even Los Angeles has few more Tandavas of Paramashiva's forms. So connect with this superconscious mutation, Sandhya Nritta Murti. You will realize nothing is falling apart, everything is falling in place. If you know Paramashiva, you will know everything falls in place. If you don't know Paramashiva, you may be deluded thinking everything is falling apart. Next Murti of Paramashiva, Sada Nritta Murti. He dances during creation, sustenance, rejuvenation, delusion, liberation. In all the Panchakrityas, he does Sada Tandava. He is called Sada Nritta Murti. This Swami is also called Ananda Tandava. If the Devi form is not attached, is called Ananda Tandava. If the Devi form is also attached, is called Sadanritta Tandava. Sadanritta Murti. In Seattle earlier we had only Ananda Tandava, means only Paramashiva dancing. Then we added the Devi Murti. Now is Sadanritta Murti. Connect with Sadanritta Murti to have everything. He will give you creation related powers, sustenance related powers, rejuvenation related powers, delusion related powers like pulling out of delusion, everything, and liberation related powers. Sadadandava Murti, Sadanritta Murti. Sadanritta Murti. Actually, I wanted to build a temple for all the 64 manifestations in US. That is why that time itself, in 2001, I started carving all these deities. The Uma Maheshwara Murti I carved is sitting in Ohio. See, if you see Paramashiva in San Jose, he will be having fire and Damaru. But if you see Ohio Paramashiva, he will be having Man and Maru, deer and the Maru. These two in his hand. Because he is carved as per the Agama of Uma Maheshwara Murti. The sixth form I explained to you, that is the form we worship in Ohio. And Sadanritta Murti is in Seattle. Maybe all the present temples can take the responsibility and make the 64 temples in US to bless the whole US. All the 64 manifestations of Paramashiva should have a temple in US. The Houston Linga is called Mukha Linga. The Kalahasti Linga, you will see the top of the Linga will have all the faces of Paramashiva, Muha. So each of the deity, if you see in the temples, Paramashiva temples we built in US, will have one manifestations of these 64 forms of Paramashiva. The next, Chandatandava Murti. This is one of the powerful dance where Mahadeva and Devi both dancing. Seeing this only, the Arunagiri, the great sage from Tiruvannamalai, Arunagiri Nadar, not Arunagiri Yogeshwarar. Arunagiri Yogeshwarar is Paramashiva himself. Arunagiri Nadar sings, Adala Seta Narada, Agilamer Midada, Abinakali Tanada, Avalodan, Adiravisi Vadadum, Vidagileru Varada, Arugubuda Vedalam, Avayada, Adala Seta Narada. It's a very beautiful description of dance happening in KAILASA. How Paramashiva is dancing and Mahakali is dancing. Argubuda Vedalam Avayada, all the Bhutas, Vedalas, Pretas of Paramashiva dancing, all of them jumping. It's a very beautiful Tiruppugal where Arunagirinathar had the darshan of Kailasa, Maha Kailasa, and describes it. Atala Seda Narada, Agila Meru Midada. Such beautiful description. Is Chanda Dandavamurti. If you connect with him, you will experience raw bliss. Raw bliss in all the aspects of Paramashiva. A real raw bliss, wild bliss will manifest in you if you connect with Chanda Tandava Murti. Next, Gangadhara Murti. This is the manifestation where Paramashiva receives Ganga from Satyaloka in his jata and releases to Bhuloka in a very protected way. If the Ganga comes with all her power, the planet Earth will not be able to sustain it. Same way, if the Ganga is not there in the planet Earth, it will dry up, it will go without water. So Paramashiva does the job of transformer. He receives it and gives to the level which is needed. A real conscious water management system for the universe is Paramashiva himself. His jata is a real water management system, conscious, super conscious water management system. Next, Ganga Visarjana Murti. This is the form through which he releases Ganga. The earlier form, Gangadhara Murti, is receiving Ganga from Satyaloka, Brahmaloka. Ganga Visarjana is releasing Ganga to the Bhuloka. Next, Tripurantaka. This is the form in which he opened his three eyes. The manifestation as Tripurantaka, he opened three eyes and burnt Tripurasuras. The three demons who had three worlds for themselves. He burnt all of them just through opening the third eye. So, this manifestation is Tripurantaka Murti. If you want to destroy negativity, invoke him. Invoke Tripurantaka Murti, he will destroy it. Next, Kalyana Sundara Murti. This is the form with which he married Parvati And Meenakshi, whenever he marries the incarnations of Parvati, he assumes Kalyana Sundara Murti form, comes and marries. This is a powerful manifestation. If you invoke him, all the relationship related issues will be cleared. He will bring completion all the relationship related issues. He is the manifestation of the most powerful superconscious relationship. Maybe I'll give you a small break. Then I'll reveal the truths about the Navakanda Yoga and how that helps to understand all the 64 manifestations of Paramashiva. I don't think just in one webinar we can receive all the 64 manifestations, because even to give a simple introduction to 64 will take at least 10 hours. So today I introduce the principles of this 64 manifestation. And I will reveal the core principle of Navakanda Yoga. I will reveal the Navakanda Yoga, which is the foundation principle of all the 64 manifestations of Paramashiva. So you can understand all the 64. So let's gather for next session. Be blissful. Blessings. Blessings. Be blissful.
Nithyanandam, such a powerful initiation, darshan and diksha. Let's now get into the power manifestation session. Let's start with the Sadguru Vandana. Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatītam Gaganasadatam Tattvamasya Dilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatītam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nithyanandam, the pramanas. What are the pramanas? The evidences. How, when we go to a doctor and he attests the problem and then we start believing that is true. Same way, when the pramanas are listened, we start having the powerful cognition shift from our understanding to manifesting our physical reality. Because of the initiation of the Guru, simply it becomes real. The Shastra Pramana, the authentic scriptures, Shrutis, Vedagamas, that stand as a foundation for Hinduism. All the reference that Bhagavan is giving is from the Shastras that lead us more and more to the deeper truths, authenticating our experience into all the higher dimension that we are experiencing. Apta Pramana, authentic time-tested foolproof compilation of the experience of millions of sages, rishis and enlightened masters who have manifested all the powers of Paramashiva and with alignment to the Shastra Pramana. Seeing the great Mahatmas who lived on the planet Earth, who manifest all these greater truths, the shift happens in us just by listening to the great truths. Atma Pramana. With Apta Pramana, a guru is able to experience and live the truth claimed by the Shastras. A guru who has manifested all these powers, when that is showcased to us, we start living that as the highest truth. And Bhagavan himself has, Paramashiva himself has manifested as our guru, showcasing all the power manifestation for us to raise to the higher states of consciousness. Shakshi Pramana, manifestation and experience of the Guru's initiation in a disciple of a particular lineage, which is demonstrable to the world. Bhagavan's initiation, every word is so auspiciousness and abundance. Just by being in the satsang, we start experiencing that greater reality. The mirror neuron starts happening in us, vibrating in the highest frequency, making us experience the higher states of consciousness. And that manifests into our physical reality as power manifestation. It's like you go to a temple receiving the prasada and manifest that as your reality. So Pratyaksha Pramana, the truth is validated by the science. Science is still catching up to these greater truth, and whatever possible, we are able to manifest and relate to that truth. We'll go to the Shastra Pramana. The Shastra Pramana for the power of Ashtamaha Shakti is taken from the Shiva Samhita 5.7678.
The Shastra Pramana for the power of Mahima, power of increasing height of body and object, is taken from the Shiva Samhita 5.76 to 78. Maranam ghadhyate tena sakena pinaghadhyate tasya syat paramasiddhe animadi guna prada vayu sannachadate dehe rasavriddhir bhaved dhruvam akashapanakajagaltiyu samabhivadhate.
Bhagavan Paramashiva beautifully says, death is eaten by him, he is eaten by none. Bhagavan beautifully explained how all the forms of Paramashiva raises us to the higher and higher frequency. We start experiencing the higher reality as our manifestation. How, when we are manifesting these greater truth, it is from the higher intelligence of existence. There is no supernatural or superpowers. It is just growing into the higher dimensions that manifest as our physical reality. Bhagavan beautifully says how there are all the object around the earth like satellites. When we connect to the satellite with our cell phone, and then it gives the message and in 2D and 5D. When we are in 5D, the connection is so good and it downloads pictures, sound, everything. Same way, when we are having the feeling connection with Paramashiva, our own Guru, simply we can, whatever is there, like all the 64 forms of the Murti, just reflect in our brain and forms the circuit of the mandala, and simply that becomes our manifestation. That is what Bhagavan is raising us to experience these greater truths. He says, Ganesha, Lakshmi, all are like satellite, like all the forms are like the satellite. When you connect to KAILASA in deep gratitude, in deep oneness, that gets transformed into our brain as a circuit and starts manifesting that reality into our life. When Ramana Maharshi or Satya Sai Baba, Ramana Maharshi initiated D.K. Pattammal. She was a small kid and she was not even able to speak when she came. And Ramana Maharshi, just by one touch, and she started speaking and became the greatest singer of India. And the same way, Sudha Raghunathan was initiated by Satya Sai Baba. All these great happenings is because they are just able to map that initiation into another all the beings, and they are able to manifest as their reality. This is a science, and it can be experienced in all of us when again and again we start living consciousness as our reality rather than our thoughts, our thinking mind. Going beyond what mind can grasp will make us understand there exists the higher intelligent sciences which we can experience. Mind should be only a processor, not a question answer system. It should be more of letting us to expand into the higher and higher dimension, making us experience the greater reality. The beautiful space of the Apta Pramanas, Sadashiva Brahmendra, one of the greatest Siddhas, he was one of them who actually manifested the great powers of Paramashiva. He would be a Naga Sadhu, like he would not have any clothes on him, and was walking in the banks of Kaveri River. He entered a camp tent where the wives of Mughal kings were getting dressed and all that. So he did not realize, because he was singing all the great songs on Parandama. And suddenly he just walked in and walked out without even realizing what happened. The Mughal king got angry and he just cut him. And he still doesn't have any feeling of what was cut. His hand was cut. And he was continuing to sing on the praise of Parandama. And then the king thought, what is happening? He didn't understand. He was startled after cutting somebody's hand. A king was shaken. And then he takes the hand and runs to Sadashiva Brahmendra and says, I'm very sorry, I did not understand your space, and gives the harm to the Sadashiva Brahmendra. He just doesn't bother still. He just takes it and fix it like how we would fix a clay dough, and continues walking. Because he understood his consciousness, not matter. Like Bhagavan said, Ramana Maharshi or Ramakrishna Paramahamsa did not leave their body because they got cancer. Because they left the body had to dissolve itself into nature. It had the cancer cells and it started multiplying to do the regeneration process. All this science is given to us again and again for us to understand that the possibility in us, how we exist and how we can manifest these in our reality. The Atma Pramana, Bhagavan himself have manifested many of the reality. For us in the Los Angeles temple, this was one of the greatest happening. The Nataraja deity at Los Angeles temple was 6 feet and 10 inches. The door was 6 feet and 8 inches. Obviously, it cannot fit in. But Bhagavan kept saying to the team, go ahead and make it go inside. Just take it inside. They all did not understand. How can you take something which is larger into the door, which is smaller? We, logical mind, will never understand. But again and again, they went to Bhagavan and asked, maybe we should cut the door. Maybe we should do. They went to the research of telling what all we can do. And then Bhagavan simply smiled and said, please take the deity inside. They took the deity inside, it fitted in and it went, and it was perfectly fine. That nor the door, nor the deity, nothing changed when they were taking inside. So they got curious and they again measured the height of the deity and the same height of the door. And they saw the deity is 6 feet 10 inches, the door is 6 feet 8 inches. There's no way they could have taken it logically. Only because of the blessing of Paramashiva, of the greatest powers, it just manifested as reality. Many times we have seen all this greater truth and experienced all this reality again and again, that how our brain can simply manifest expanding or shrinking an object simply by the initiation of the Guru. The Pratyaksha Pramana. This is Pratyaksha Pramana and Apta Pramana, I would say, where Swami Rama produced a different temperature on the adjacent palm on the hand by dilating one artery and contracting the other arteries, causing up to 10-degree differences. In just hand, he just took two nerves and made it one hot and one cold, just by the power of holding that oneness space and manifesting this. This is scientifically recorded in USA when Swami Rama went to USA. He is one of the greatest siddhas who manifested so many powers and extraordinary happening and contributed to life, and more telling the world that how we can live as these great yogis and siddhas, living as gods and goddesses on planet Earth. Millions of them have manifested, and each one of us can manifest. Today, we are going to experience that very truth in our physical reality. All these exercise, like how you do a completion exercise, these might be simple exercise, but it profoundly shifts the way we perceive the world. If you have the Jnananjan, you can apply in your third eye and on your temple, and on the object that you're going to make the size increase, the length, breadth, or the size, the weight of the object. If you have a measuring scale, that will be really good. Or you can mark the border of the object and see how it is moving. And we can record all this with the timestamp and share with the world how Paramashiva, who has come as our Guru, initiates us and makes us experience in this physical reality how all this possibility exists, and living and making us experience. Experientially, we can say, I live in fourth dimension, fifth dimension, sixth dimension, because this is what I experience as reality. It is not some scientific understanding, but actually in real truth. We can challenge the world how these great truths is the science that humanity is being blessed with, and how we can live this as the greatest truth. So once you're ready, you can set up the whole thing. Make sure it's authentically done. You take an object, and either you can check the border, or you can start to hold the scale and measure the object. You can see what is the length of the object, or what is the thickness of the object, and you can measure the object. Once you have set up, you can take a picture, or you can record the whole thing, and you can make sure you can share that at the end of the session when it starts growing or shrinking. Now, once you're done, put away everything, put away your Facebook, put away your gadgets, and sit straight with the head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Bring yourself to the space of Paramashiva, your inner space, only vibrating all the forms that Bhagavan was beautifully describing in the satsang. Go back to the every space of Paramashiva that he was describing, the ultimate space. Just listening to it really creates that space in each one of us. Hold that inside, continuously hold that very space. Get into that bhava. Whenever you start getting into the bhava, your feeling connection with the Guru starts increasing more and more, vibrating each atom into higher frequency, and unclutch from everything, every thought. If you have a question, will I manifest? This is not for me. I have to go somewhere. I don't have time. Whatever is going on, just drop for a few minutes. Tell very clearly, this is a time with Paramashiva and me. I am going to experience the ultimate reality. Drop every thought, even this thought, if you could drop, that will be nice. Continuously chant the Mahavakya, deeply connecting to Paramashiva in deep gratitude, in deep feeling connection, in love, oneness. Again and again, connect to Sadashiva, Paramashiva, and start chanting the Mahavakya in deep listening. Let's start playing the Mahavakya.
See yourself as 25-headed, 50-handed Paramashiva, as eternally 16, youthful. Commit with Paramashiva. Only he exists. Anything else is delusion. Now, sit straight. We'll enter into the process. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vanni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vanni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Paramashivoham. Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Slowly, very slowly, open your eyes. Whatever Paramashiva has shown, the length or the breadth or the weight that you have measured, again measure the object, or if you have marked all the around the object, make sure you take a picture of that. And measure, always measure it twice so that it is authentic. And you can share this picture or the video with your friends and families and cause all of them to live Paramashiva as their reality, living most auspicious life with most health and the utmost wealth and the beautiful relationship. Having the KAILASA ecosystem is the best gift that Bhagavan has given all of us to experience on planet Earth. So through all this power manifestation, you can share all this great truth, the powerful cognitions, the experiences, and the power manifestation. Go ahead and share in your social media platforms with the hashtag Paramashivoham Shakshi Pramana, hashtag KAILASA, and hashtag Nithyananda. And with that, we have come to the end of the session. Now, let's surrender all this powerful cognition, power manifestation at Bhagavan's lotus feet in deep gratitude, thanking Bhagavan for all the gifts from Maha KAILASA for each one of us, for every session that we are experiencing. And thanking all of you here, manifesting the powers of Paramashiva and living as Paramashiva as our reality. With that, we have come to the end of the session. We'll be having more webinars and it'll be posted. Stay tuned to all this great truth and great science that Bhagavan is revealing to the world and making you all live in the highest possible reality. That's the greatest gift that we can experience on planet Earth. With that, we have come to the end of the session. Let's now sit straight with the head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Bring Paramashiva to your third eye. And let's chant the Purna Mantra to the end of the session. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Nithyanandam. Thank you, everyone, each and everyone in all the Zooms and all the social media platform for being here and experience all this truth. See you again in the next webinar. Thank you, Nithyananda.
"64 manifestations documented in Veda Agamas